You gotta love it when you got a building vacant for 20 years and you get it renovated for low-income folks and you're still unhappy. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, so who's in charge here?
I think Dan is going to kick us off here. Where is he? Dan, we're ready to get started? Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started. I appreciate everyone for coming out. This is an exciting day for us. I'm glad that the mayor was able to join us. My name is Bryant Matthews. I am the managing principal of Real Estate Interests, LLC. We're the developers of the property here. And a little over a year ago, I stood before you on this corner along with the mayor and some other people who are here. And I said that this was participation, not gentrification. A little corny, I admit, but like most corny things, it was sincere and had an element of truth. So now I want to take just a couple minutes at the beginning to tell you what I meant by that. And it's better demonstrated now that the building is complete. So at its core, participation, in our estimation, is a continuation of the story of a property. It is a recognition that this building plays a part in a broader narrative, a narrative in this neighborhood and in this city. And so when we say participation, what we are trying to humbly communicate is that this building was developed with intention and purpose and hopefully respect for what it was before. We're not here to create a museum. We want to make spaces that people want to live in today. We want it to be modern and approachable, but we also want people to feel connected. And so when you have an opportunity to walk by the building or see it, the most important thing I want you to take away is it's a place for people. But the other aspect is, if we have done our job correctly, we have created a property that fits within the context of the neighborhood and its history. I'll conclude with a very, very small example. When you walk in the kitchen of the Murray, each drawer has a pull. Now, a cup pull. That's very important because there are a lot of options you can use for a drawer. You can do a typical handle where you pull this way. You can do a knob pull. It has a cup pull. And why does it? Well, when I was a boy, my aunt lived in Woodbridge, a neighborhood very much like Hubbard Farms. And in that house, there were original wood cabinets that had cup pulls. And I remembered that. And I remembered how it made me feel to open that drawer. And this motion, to me, is a little bit less aggressive and more welcoming than overhand. And so the Murray, a building that was built, that's been redeveloped 100 years later, has something that was in my aunt's house from 100 years ago. That's a connection. That's a small part of the story. And hopefully, 100 years from now, when people are on this corner, and there's some developer standing before you, that there might be a cup pull. Because that's how we extend the story. That's how we go from 100 years in the past to 100 years in the future. And if we do it right, participation is part of that narrative. In contrast, gentrification is without context. It is an interruption, in our opinion, in the flow and the history of a property and a community. We listened to the folks of Hubbard Farms because we want to participate. We don't always agree. They held us to account, and I guarantee you they will continue to do so, and rightfully so. But this is not gentrification. This is not out of context. This is not a severing of history. This is a continuation. And at its core, that is what we meant when we say participation, not gentrification. Okay. With that, I'd like to introduce our mayor, Mike Duggan, without whom this would not be possible. So we appreciate you for coming out, Mr. Mayor, and I'll take a step back, please.
All right. Well, congratulations to Murray Matthews and Invest Detroit and the entire team. And this project has been personal to me, as the team knows. It originated when I was meeting with a group of students at Western High School. And they talked to me about how unsafe they felt walking to school past this abandoned building, the dangers that were there. And they said to me, why doesn't the city care enough to get that vacant building fixed up, occupied, move people in, make our neighborhood safer? We took that on as a high priority. It wasn't easy to get somebody to take on this size of a project. The commitment that 25% of the units would be set aside for people of low income, so we could make sure that the makeup of the residents here reflected the neighborhood. And Murray Matthews, after 20 years of vacancy, stepped in and showed what could be done. And as part of our Strategic Neighborhood Fund initiative, we are also going to be kicking off just down the street a $3.3 million improvement in Clark Park with new walkways, new plazas, a major upgrade to the parks facility, again to show the young people in this community that they are valued, that we are going neighborhood by neighborhood. I'm doing announcements like this 2 or 3 times a week. Yesterday I was in a little neighborhood off the lodge where we opened up a brand new city park. And to see children playing in what had been for a decade an overgrown lot. We can rebuild in these neighborhoods. And to Emory and the team, this is really a great day. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words, Mr. Mayor. Next, I would like to bring up a representative of the Planning and Development Department. But before I do, I just want to say, as a Detroiter, one of the things I was most proud of throughout this process is that we had extraordinarily good service from all aspects of the city of Detroit. So while the mayor is out here and getting accolades, I want to be clear that but for the fine people in BSEED and planning and HRD, none of this would have been possible. They were always professional. They were always courteous. They were always in problem-solving mode, and so we're eternally grateful. With that, I would like to bring up Katie Trudeau from the Planning and Development Department. Hopefully, Katie will have an opportunity to highlight the wonderful things planned for Clark Park. Katie?
Thank you, Emory. I just want to underscore how exciting it is to be here today to both celebrate the opening of the Murray after 20 years of standing vacant in the neighborhood, but also really even more excited for the $3 million that will be invested in Clark Park that will be actually starting construction in the coming weeks. Just within view of here, public and private investments like this coming together, they lift up the neighborhood, and they also provide a quality of life improvements that are so important through the elimination of blight through vacant structures, new and affordable housing. As the mayor mentioned, 3 of the units, 25% of the units will be offered for lower income households. But also in combination with that type of new housing investment, increased park and recreational opportunities for Detroiters. I just want to also underscore congratulations to Emory and his development team on this beautiful housing development. These strategic investments in both parks and housing located within 1 block of one another wouldn't be possible foremost without resident engagement, resident support, but also without the valued partnership of organizations like Invest Detroit and the corporate and philanthropic funders, of which there are many, of the Strategic Neighborhood Fund. It's exactly these types of investments that we are layering in neighborhoods across the city and hope to continue to develop and deliver in many other residential neighborhoods just like this one. And just to highlight some of the improvements that will be coming to Clark Park, a new entryway along Verner Highway to bring people into the community in a safe and accessible way, new walkways, new paths, improvements to recreational fields and the like. So with that, I'll turn it back to Emory, and thank you so much for having us here in your neighborhood today.
Thank you, Katie. This project also would not be possible without extraordinary partners, and the most important of which was Southwest Housing Solutions. The team at Southwest was extraordinary throughout the process. They helped us overcome an innumerable number of challenges, and I want to personally thank Tim Thorland and Dan Peterson, who I hope sincerely I get a chance to work with again going forward. At this time, I want to welcome to the podium Mr. Sean Defour of Southwest Solutions to speak a little bit about their experiences.
Thank you, Emery. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Sean Defour. I'm the new president and CEO of Southwest Solutions. This is my 4th month on the job, so I didn't have a lot to do with the Murray project personally, but I'm happy to be here to celebrate it with you today on behalf of Southwest Solutions and Southwest Housing Solutions specifically. This effort would not have been possible without considerable input from the area residents, and I'm happy to say that it's a strong representation of true collaborative effort to make this possible. And there are many people we need to thank, starting with Emery, who stepped forward to do the renovation. I want to mention Stan Edwards and their company, REI, for the beautiful renovation of this century-old property. And especially I want to thank Mayor Duggan for his vision and his support through the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, which he marshaled. And a special thanks to Katie Trudeau and her team at Planning and Development for their diligence and expertise in seeing this project through. Thank you to all of you. We believe that a vibrant neighborhood requires a healthy mix of affordable and market rate housing, strong home ownership, and access to opportunities and amenities that provide a wonderful quality of life for all residents. And undoubtedly, the renovation of the Murray will be a significant contribution to that and the vibrancy of this neighborhood, along with investments like Clark Park that was just announced, which we're especially excited about. Where the Murray is situated right behind us is a particularly important area for the strategic revitalization of this neighborhood. As the mayor mentioned, Clark Park, which is just down the street, is facing Western International High School, which happens to be the most culturally diverse high school in the city of Detroit and the only public high school in Southwest Detroit. And it's a block down from Earhart Elementary Middle School. It's one of the reasons why we were so committed at Southwest Housing Solutions to being a part of revitalizing this corner. The Whitdale Apartments right behind you is a project that Southwest Housing Solutions renovated back in 2008, has 32 units of affordable housing and stood blighted for decades before we had a chance to help renovate it. And most recently, our work with the Murray behind me, Hubbard Farms right down the street, and the community garden right next to Hubbard Farms right behind the Murray. These were all projects that Southwest Solutions was really proud to be a part of, and we can see the redevelopment that's starting around us because of those seeds that were planted decades ago. And we're really proud of that. We're really proud of that work. What this bit of history illustrates is that the strategic revitalization of our neighborhood has been an evolutionary and deeply collaborative process that builds momentum as it goes. And the renovation of the Murray capitalizes on it. We're very proud to be a partner in this wonderful achievement, and we hope it'll serve as a model for other neighborhoods in our city. I want to thank you all for celebrating with us, and thank you for being here. Emery?
Thank you, Sean. At this moment, I'm going to pause to acknowledge my family that is here. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I see you. I appreciate it. You're embarrassing me, but I'm glad you're here. Embarrassing in a good way, in that I don't deserve it. I just want to be clear. You're not embarrassing. You guys need to edit that piece out. I don't need that getting around to the Matthewses around the world that my family embarrassed me. Oh, man. I got it. Thanksgiving will come fast this year. Obviously, the project required an enormous commitment from our capital partners, and we have two of the best in the city of Detroit. We have done deals across the country, but I have to tell you, they are unparalleled. And the first up is Invest Detroit. And I just want to say that without Invest Detroit and their fellow co-lender, this is not possible in a very real way. But more importantly, they figure out ways to provide supportive measures to not just deliver the project, but to deliver some of the support services that go around to help develop the talent that is necessary to do these projects many times over. They are all about building capacity in the city of Detroit. And so I am eternally grateful to Mr. Mike Verige, who will come up now to talk a little bit about Invest Detroit. Mike?
Great. Thank you, Emery. I love a groundbreaking, but I love a ribbon cutting so much more because it's a plan or a dream that has been realized. And I think it's so important that that we plan, that we dream, but then when those things become real, it's awesome. So that's why I'm celebrating today. I thank all the partners. This has been a wonderful opportunity to take a building that was not being utilized, and if it was not being utilized for good things, and bring it back to life. So that is exciting. And that point of getting things involved, getting dreams to become reality, the dream started with talking with the neighbors. And what did the neighborhood want here? And that was something that was vital for Emory, for Southwest Solutions, and for us also at Invest Detroit, to make that be what they wanted it to be in their neighborhood, in their town. And we have a saying at Invest Detroit, what we do is we ignite growth. That's a dream, that's a plan, but now you start to see what this building does with that building and the park down the street and things that'll be announced on Verner very soon and on Bagley. That's what this is all about. And what also is so important to us is that the citizens of this city participate in this. And that's why it's so wonderful to have Emory as a native Detroiter being the one who participates in this, who does this, and we come alongside him. And now we're already talking about other projects in other neighborhoods that he's going to do the magic that he does. So it has been an honor, and it's been very humble to be just a part of this. I thank all our partners, Mayor, the city, Emory, you especially, Southwest Solutions, our friends at CIP, and everyone who participated in this. So thank you so much.
You know, one of the things that was important to us to make sure we respond to provide affordable options. A project like this obviously is very expensive, particularly when you try to honor the building's history in a very real way. But thanks to the support of Invest Detroit and especially Capital Impact, we are able to offer a quarter of the units at a far below market rate. That's not possible without folks like Elizabeth Luther at Capital Impact Partners, who I'd like to bring up now. Elizabeth?
Thanks, Emory, for the introduction and for having me here today. My name's Elizabeth Luther. I'm the Director of Detroit Programs for Capital Impact Partners. I will keep my remarks very brief. Emory, Stan, and Sean, congratulations. Mayor Duggan, Katie, and the rest of the City of Detroit team, thank you for your continued leadership. To Mike and our friends at Invest Detroit, thank you for your continued partnership. And to our investors at JP Morgan Chase, thank you for investing in Detroit's mission-driven lenders in order to make projects like this possible. Capital Impact, a community development lender, is proud to be involved in supporting the revitalization of vacant properties in Detroit neighborhoods through financing and technical assistance throughout the housing development lifecycle. I'll speak personally as a neighborhood resident who has been walking, jogging, biking, and driving by this property for the better part of 9 years. I can safely say that this beautiful 12-unit mixed-income rehab looks fantastic and is a huge improvement from where it was 1 year ago and for the decades plus prior. I actually remember when Emory started joining the Hubbard Farms Neighborhood Association meetings. I don't remember how many years ago, but I was on the board at the time, in order to engage in initial discussions around the project with a really genuine and thoughtful approach. In the current development market, smaller scale rehabs like this one require significant coordination, tenacity, and willpower to complete, and I know it was no small feat to get this one over the finish line. So congratulations again to all involved, and I will turn it back over to Emory. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for coming out today. I want to end today's session with my co-founder and business partner, Mr. Stan Edwards. Stan is a superstar who believed in our company when few other people did and helped guide this process through fruition. And so it is a very proud moment that I get to share it with someone with whom I worked and been partners with for so long. So at this point, I'd like to bring Mr. Stan Edwards up to share a few thoughts.
Thank you, Emory. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, his office, and all the partners here. This project is something that Real Estate Interest LLC takes very, very serious. Both Emory and I are born and raised in Detroit, longtime Detroiters. Our firm is dedicated to making sure we do our role and our part to impact the beautification of the city. So we thank everyone for coming out and supporting us. We thank all of the neighborhood folk that we listened to and had input in what we were attempting to do. And we look forward to you guys to more ribbon cuttings in the future. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, everyone. We appreciate it.